Can you please tell me what you see in the picture?
Donkey Kong Country for Super Nintendo.
Good. And this one?
Oh, my favorite game of all time, Donkey Kong Country 2.
And now?
Donkey Kong Country 3, underrated game.
3 for 3. And this one?
Only played a little bit of it, but Donkey Kong 64.
Good. And again?
Donkey Kong Returns for the Wii. Only beat it once. Pretty good.
And this one?
Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze. Excellent game. Really good boss fights.
Wunderbar. How about now?
Oh, brother. What is that? What is that, brother? What is that?
Can you tell me what you see?
What do I see? I see a couple of gay dudes.
Fairly interesting. Let's try again.
Donkey Kong Country 1 again. Gay dudes again.
Very interesting.
Donkey Kong Country 2.
Okay, and now?
More oiled up gay dudes.
Once more, please.
Okay, Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze again.
One last time.
Oh, come on, man. Stop. Yeah, more gay dudes.
The answer was Donkey Kong Bonanza.
What is going on, everybody? Steve here from Alpha Nerd Entertainment. Hopefully you're not too triggered. I did want to talk about Donkey Kong Bonanza. Oh my, oh my, oh my. I'm not totally sure where to begin, but let me tell you something. This game, it looks poor. Now, I've never been one to judge games without playing them. Actually, about a year ago, I gave Marceau shit, Master System Marceau, shit for judging games without playing them. At the time, he gave me a pretty good answer. He said, Steve, sometimes you see a game and you just know it's not for you. This is one of those times for me. I knew that was a good answer then, because when he said it to me, I was like, yeah, that's true. There's many times when I see games, I'm just not interested. Now, here's the thing. Just because I'm not interested in Donkey Kong Bonanza doesn't mean it's a bad game. It might be the masterpiece that everyone is claiming it to be. I feel like some of those reviewers and even YouTubers are a little bit paid off or, just hoping to, not rustle too many feathers and say good things. Being a critic is difficult because it requires giving critical thinking and, of course, saying things that are less positive. Sometimes the harsh truth. In this particular case, no, I haven't played this game, and I'll probably go a very long time without playing it. But let me tell you my thoughts as to why I think it's going to be a bomb and a bad game. Now, that kind of is a difficult thing to say because I think it's going to be well received. I think people are going to like this game. I think a lot of people are going to be like, oh no, man, it's really good. Well, the average person's kind of stupid. And the average person isn't a good judge of anything. Well, what does that make me? Does that make me better than the average person? In this particular case, I'm going to say yes. Sorry, dislike button's right there. And let me tell you why. I'm going to paint a vision for you. It's hard for you to see my vision. That's why it's my vision and not yours. But I'm going to do my best to describe something to you, sort of like a storybook, where you can close your eyes and try to picture my vision. Close your eyes for a moment. Picture a Donkey Kong game with today's modern graphics. Now, picture yourself running into a jungle on more of a linear basis, somewhere along the lines of Crash Bandicoot, but with today's technology and graphics. Imagine yourself jumping from vine to vine, even blasting into barrels, and having to make those specific shots. Not awkward and clumsy because the hitboxes can be big enough that if you miss, it's your fault. But when knowing the game and playing the game well, the transitions from jumping on enemies and perhaps even punching, kicking, and halt clapping them or hammer fisting them could be something Donkey Kong could do. Larger enemies could maybe require some of these more beat-em-up style attacks, where smaller, weaker jungle animals could simply just be jumped on and even rolled through. Try to take a moment and actually picture that. Try to picture the beautiful earth tones opposed to ugly pastel graphics where you're punching your way through a layered world of just basically floating monotonous landscapes. It's poor, it's lazy, it's uncreative, and it's uninspiring. I'm sorry, but that smashing mechanic doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Never have I ever, in any video game, sat there and said, you know what would be cool? If I could just sort of endlessly punch my way through this crust and ground. What is this geared towards? Let me tell you, this Donkey Kong Country Bonanza is perfect for super big potheads. I have an old friend that I haven't seen in many years. We used to call him Big Steve. He was quite a large fella. I was Steve, so everyone named him Big Steve. He didn't care for it, but it was a way for us to decipher, hey Steve versus hey Big Steve. Big Steve smoked a lot of weed. He got real pie-eyed, and he would sit there and burn out and just play video games for hours. And this is a perfect kind of game for that person. Someone who can just sit there without any skill required, just punch to the ground, find collectibles, and go on a collectathon. Sounds pretty uninteresting to me. Now let's stop and think about what the Donkey Kong Country games were found on. What their premise was. Was it not platforming? So when I picture that, and you picture my vision of swinging on a vine, landing on an enemy's head, maybe running on the side of a wall for a bit, Prince of Persia style, jumping off and hammer fisting a big crocodile, punching a hippo 2, 3, 4 times, rolling through some armadillos, while jumping over gaps, Crash Bandicoot style. Maybe running into the screen, Crash Bandicoot style. You might say, hey Steve, well Naughty Dog already did that with 3 games. Nintendo hasn't really done it. So why not try their hand at that kind of concept? It's a linear 3D game. Could parts not even still go 2D to pay homage to the 5 previous games? Not a bad idea. I read in a Google review, somebody said in Donkey Kong Bonanza, when you go into the bonus levels, it goes into a 2D view. And he just said that it reminded him of a game he wished he was playing. And he was quite frankly disappointed with it, and said after 3 hours, he was sick and tired of punching and smashing the ground. Now here's the thing, this game might very well be excellent. But what I'm saying is, I'm cocky, confidently, arrogantly saying that my vision is without a doubt, unarguable, better than what you've been fed. If you have the vision enough to picture what I'm saying to you, what I'm describing is infinitely better and infinitely more similar to the source material. I almost want to write Sony and be like, hey, how about we make a game called the Big Silverback and we do just what I'm saying. You know, it just seems so lackluster to me to not put forth those 5 Donkey Kong Country games into a 3D experience. I've watched enough footage of this new game to know that none of what I described is going to be happening in any way, shape, or form. With no smooth, fluid, fast motion that you can control through good controls, good programming, and what should be infinitely better than any old school Crash Bandicoot due to modern technology. Imagine the rope swinging. Imagine blasting from the barrels. Imagine jumping those gaps. Imagine running across the walls. Imagine it transitioning into 2D, back into 3D, and continuing down that path. Rolling through armadillos, jumping on some other animals, maybe having to parry up and fight a bear and take a few shots yourself. There's a lot you can do with it, and they did none of it. Instead, they gave you a game where you can just sort of Minecraft style destroy things. Yeah, this game's been compared to Minecraft. I don't know many retro gamers who have a whole lot of experience and love or passion for Minecraft, but I don't think a Donkey Kong game should be somewhat comparable to Minecraft. Shouldn't it be more comparable to the previous entries done in a good 3D way? Now, Donkey Kong 64, maybe this is a bit of a love letter on some level to those people who've waited for a sequel like that. To that I say, yeah, for the Donkey Kong 64 fans, this is probably like right up their alley. Even though I still look at that game and think it had more of a 3D open world premise that made sense than this game where you punch your way through a core down to somewhere where it ends. That's the premise of it. Why is Pauline a little girl? Pauline didn't look like a little girl in the first game. You know, the original Donkey Kong where Jumpman, aka Mario, climbs up top to save her. Well, why would Mario be saving a little girl that was the same size as him? They were similar sized sprites. Pauline might have been a little taller than Mario. He wasn't saving a little girl. He was saving a love interest. Actually, in Nintendo lore, some people believe Pauline to be Jumpman's wife. Therefore, Mario's mom. So why is she a little girl in this? Does it matter? Not really. Is it cartoony and kiddish? Yes. I'm a 43-year-old man. I want to go through a jungle, roll through deserts, swim through bright oceans, and see those beautiful earth tones with better shading, not bright pastel colors. You know where you see bright pinks and baby blues and vibrant little pastel-y colors? In a toddler's bedroom or in a kindergarten classroom. That's where you see pastel colors. It's ugly, it's gross, it doesn't belong in a Donkey Kong game, and quite frankly, it looks like it sucks. So when I say that this game looks poor, I have some reasons for thinking that. I've thought about this. This is potentially my favorite game of all time. And I'm going to tell you that Donkey Kong Bonanza is going to fall pretty goddamn short of this. And all I can say is you Nintendo fans, eat up everything they give you. You don't give any feedback, you don't critique anything, you just love everything they hand to you. You're the perfect customer. All I can say is other video game companies are probably quite jealous. Other video game franchises like Xbox and Sony are probably pretty goddamn jealous of the just blind fan base that just hangs on to Nintendo's every word and everything they hand to you. You know, I also heard that Nintendo's not even making some of these games themselves, that they're having outside developers work on it for them. Well, in the past that worked when Nintendo gave the reins to Sega to make F-Zero GX, and they went ahead and made one of the best games ever made. But maybe they're handing it to the wrong people. Maybe somebody should not be making Donkey Kong other than maybe Nintendo. Maybe Nintendo should have never sold Rare. We haven't seen the Kremlins since the original Donkey Kong games. Not in Returns, not in Tropical Freeze. It's almost like Rare owns the right to Kremlins. I don't know what's up with that. I've been wondering where the Kremlins are. Where did they go? Anyways, there is a little bit of passion behind this video, and all I can say is that I haven't played the game. It very well could be excellent, and it probably is. It probably is very good. A 7 out of 10, I think, is probably an appropriate score for a game that monotonous, repetitive, and kind of uninspiring. All you really do essentially, at the end of the day, is smash your way to victory through some crust layers that reach down. I heard the game has a pretty climatic, good ending, whatever. I heard it has a very exciting ending. I heard it falls short of Mario Odyssey. I've watched several reviews on it, everyone praising it all to high hell, and I'm sure for what it is, it's good. But I'm boldly saying, what I described makes way more sense to a Donkey Kong game than what you've been given. And I honestly believe the vision that I shared with you, executed and put together properly and made by the right people, would absolutely blow this piss poor, crappy excuse for a Donkey Kong game right the fuck out of the water. In fact, take that baby rated game, stuff it in a blast barrel, and shoot it the fuck out of here. Because that game looks whack. And I get the excitement of Switch fans to want to have it because you have nothing to purchase. So yeah, you're going to want to buy it. It's probably why they pumped it out now. Let's get the shitty one out of the way and drop a few bangers really soon. I hope you get your bangers really soon because I don't think this is one. And all I can say is a 43-year-old man, there's nothing about this game that pulls me in. From its pastel cartoony colors that remind me of a kindergarten room to the fact that you can change the color of Donkey Kong to pink or baby blue. Is the only thing I can describe that is gay. I know I'm not supposed to use that word, but like Joe Rogan once said, what word do you want me to use to describe gay shit? Because being able to change Donkey Kong into a baby blue or pink monkey gorilla ape is really, really stupid. And I don't know how you can expect me as an adult man in my 40s to take an interest in that, when it strays so far away from the original games that I don't see anything worth playing or enjoying. And again, you don't even get to use Diddy Kong now again as well. I hear he makes an appearance along with Dixie Kong, but is that really enough? Why am I playing a two-player game that people can play together, running into the screen or away from the screen, or blasting around on rockets and blast barrels, going through cool ice levels, and slipping and sliding left and right, maybe grabbing some ice blocks as they fall. Like, I just don't get what you've been given. Yet people are like, that game looks good. Feels good to get that off my chest, I'm not going to lie. Listen, if you hate me and you hate the channel and you want to continue hate watching, the dislike button's right there. I appreciate your watch time. If you think I'm an arrogant, annoying asshole who you get a kick out of, feel free to smash the like button and stick around for more content. Guys, all I can say is at the end of the day, I'm pretty passionate about this series right here, Donkey Kong Country, and I love 5 of the games. And what I played Donkey Kong 64 was pretty decent as well. And no, I haven't played this game, and it might very well be very good. It's just not exactly what I was looking for at this time, considering Tropical Freeze came out about 12 years ago, maybe 11 years ago. And yeah, for me personally, it just looked really disappointing. And even if it is pretty good, I don't think it's something I'm going to be interested in as a repetitive collectathon. So, hard pass for me. I do hope you enjoy it. I bet it is quite good. It's just not what I envisioned, and I hope for better from Nintendo in the future. Thanks for watching.